What's going on, everybody? We're going to be recapping Week 15 of Thursday Night Football with the NFL 2017 season. And this is a game that probably you didn't want to watch, but you probably just like football like I do, and you're like, you know what? All right, we'll go ahead and flip through the channels and see what's going on. Let's just start off by saying that the Denver Broncos, their season has been determined by bad quarterback play. Now, if you're a Broncos fan, you already know that. That's not the issue. The big thing about the whole situation is what's going to happen for next year. Because what was scary to me is this. Trevor Seimian, early in the season, I remember when they beat the Cowboys, it was like, wow. Because I always thought this guy was a bum. Like, I'm just being honest about it. When I saw him play, it was just something about him. Like, you could just sense the bummality. And I was trying to figure out, like, are the Cowboys that bad? Like, when he went in there and just did whatever he wanted. But eventually, like I told you guys, your true colors are going to show. You can't really hide your bummality for very, very long. And what happened was Trevor Seimian started to become Trevor Seimian. As far as we know, Vance Joseph, the head coach of the Denver Broncos, they're going to give him another chance going forward. But, I don't know why that's even an issue, because I think it starts with John Elway. That's just my opinion. Like, if you're a quarterback, like, this guy's one of the all-time great quarterbacks, John Elway, right? And then he has guys on his team that are all bums. You got Brock Osweiler. You got this guy, Trevor Seimian. You got some other guy. I forgot the other guy's name. That dude sucks too. But you have all kinds of things that's going on, and you're picking the wrong players. And it's just like, was it Paxton Lynch? How do you keep making that decision? But you know what's funny? It's similar to Michael Jordan when what was the first team he was with before he went to the Bobcats? I forgot what he was doing, but he also didn't. I think he went with, like, try to get Kwame Brown or something. Like, he was doing weird stuff. It seems like great players are not always necessarily the best people to identify talent, is what I'm getting at. But going forward, we have to wait to see exactly what happens, because I'm not sure if the Broncos are going to be able to find a franchise quarterback unless somehow they end up with Kirk Cousins or something like that. I don't see how they will be able to do anything. And I don't think they have the money for Kirk Cousins unless they remove a lot of stuff and Kirk Cousins takes a discount, which I don't think he's going to do, unless he wants a chance at a championship, maybe. Because as bad as Kirk Cousins has played in some games, I still think that with the proper defense behind him and, having a decent offensive core, C.J. Anderson was putting in a little bit of work. Demaryius Thomas, I don't know about him sometimes. Time to time, it just changes with him. I don't know where we are with him, but I think that it would be a better case scenario if he just had a new setting. If Kirk Cousins just had a new setting, I think that he would ball out with a team that had, a good defense like the Denver Broncos. That's just food for thought. I don't know where else he might end up. I know he won't end up in San Francisco anymore because Jimmy G is there to stay. So, yeah, just going forward, Trevor Seimian gets hurt, right, from a tackle from Bartavius Mingo. And then all of a sudden, a guy that last year couldn't make a throw or do anything to help the Texans win the game against the Patriots, because, like I've been saying this since last year, if you put anybody in the game against the Patriots last year with the way the Texans were playing defense, they beat the Patriots. All right? And Patriot fans know that too, because I talk to them regularly. And they like, yo, bro, that defense had Tom Brady locked up. And they just, you couldn't really do anything. It was nothing that could be done because offensively, they were inept. They were not able to do anything because Brock Osweiler is a terrible quarterback. But you're playing the Colts, who, by the way, was winning at the half and still found a way to lose 25-11. So when you lose to Brock Osweiler, right, just think about what I'm saying. You lose to a quarterback that over his time period has been completely and utterly garbage. So we already knew what was going on when we started to see, like, all the stuff that was happening, because the Colts are not a really good team. They've been in shambles. Andrew Luck, they don't know where he's going, like, what the future holds for him. It's a very, very difficult situation all around for the Colts organization. So it's not surprising is what I'm trying to say. Chuck Pagano should be fired soon. I think that his tenure was there longer because of the whole situation that happened while Bruce Arians took over for him with the whole cancer situation, and he was fighting, was fighting for his life, and I think that motivated a lot of people. And it's a sensitive issue because all of us have had somebody affected by cancer. It's such a horrible disease. But what happens is, people are gonna still want performance, and I don't really know how to go engage about, if he is the right coach for the job, what's going on with it. All I know is that they're not winning. So what happens is the whole corporate NFL situation, what is this coach doing? The hot seat stuff starts to happen, and everybody forgets about all the stuff that happened during that time. Because it was very, very emotional for the Colts organization, and that's why Bruce Arians was able to actually get the job with the Arizona Cardinals, because of the way he stepped in and handled his business. So going forward, we could definitely expect that to happen to Chuck Pagano. He's just probably not going to be there next year. It's just going to be the reality of the situation, and they're going to have to move on. But I don't know what to expect with the Broncos as well, because when you look at this, right, and the defense played pretty well. They didn't give up on the team. They were still fighting. They're doing whatever they're doing, and I think it was just it's just like they just felt like it was a time to beat up on a trash team, because the Colts are terrible. Any other team that they're playing, they would have lost the game. Listen, Bronco fans, don't get it twisted. Osweiler is garbage, but the way that you make one play, he runs for that touchdown, and he gets everybody excited, and people start to get up and start moving around, and that's all you really need is one play, and that's what they got. So when you look at it from that standpoint, you can kind of understand what happened with this, but that doesn't mean that Brock Osweiler is coming back to be the quarterback for the Denver Broncos. I highly doubt that if Seimian is still there, I'll be surprised. If Osweiler is still there, depending on what his contract situation is, I'll be very, very surprised. I think they're going to go heavy in the draft if they can't find somebody in the open market, and a lot of the quarterbacks won't be available, so I don't know which way you go with it. The defense loses another year of a lot of tremendous talent, because if you just have anybody in there that can make plays, we're talking about the Broncos making a run right now. That's what we would be talking about. But unfortunately, we're not doing that. Jacoby Brissett, look, man, I really thought that I think he still does have potential. Obviously, Andrew Luck will be back next year, so he probably, if he remains there, will be a backup. But he does have a lot of things that will, like he holds the ball too long. He makes very, very bad decisions. I don't know what's going on with it, but I think he does have a big arm, and he does have potential. We could talk all night long about the defense of the Colts not being too good and stuff like that. I understand all that, but as a quarterback, you got to be able to make plays as well, and he wasn't able to do that. And I'm just being honest about it. And I think, like I said, he's another Bill Belichick offspring that's come out and been able to show lights of greatness, similar to Joey G. But at the end of the day, the Colts they're just not a good team, and we have to all understand and accept that. And once we do that, we can move on and understand exactly what's going on. We just have to accept it. It's as simple as that. There really is no other situation that's going on. You can't expect him to just come out and just be Joe Montana. Like, it's not going to happen like that, especially when you're playing the Denver Broncos defense that feels like they have a reason to be playing. And that's what happened to them. In the second half, the Denver Broncos was playing like they had, like, yo, listen, bro, we got something to lose here. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were playing very, very, like, they're trying to make plays. They're doing what they have to do. And that's pretty much what went on with the game. That was the game, pretty much. Second half, they come out, they're ready to ball and stuff like that, and he just wasn't able to make any plays. And they do have offensive talent, but the O-line is garbage. What's their running game? Frank Gore? Frank Gore is 97 years old, bro. Like, I don't... It's very, very difficult. And like I said, this was a very, very trash game to watch. And like I said, I only watched it because I had to be able to let you guys know what's going on with the recap. But we already know what's the situation with both of these teams. Right now, we're just talking about rebuilding and what's going on in the future. And like I said, Andrew Luck should be back for the Colts next year. They got a lot of stuff to do in the offseason. The Broncos are just, at the quarterback position, if they're not able to land something that has a brain, you know what I'm saying, and is able to look and see that they're throwing to the right team, I don't like the future of what's going to be going on with Von Miller, all these other guys, Talib and all these boys. I don't know, Chris Harris Jr. You got a lot of talent there, and it's just not going to work out, man. It's just brutal honesty that if they don't have a quarterback, it's not going to work. And they got the worst possible trio of quarterbacks ever, probably in NFL history. Because I've never seen anything like this where maybe the Dallas Cowboys a couple years ago where Tony Romo got hurt. Yeah, that was kind of bad too. But Tony Romo would be included in the trio. I don't think Tony Romo's that bad. So yeah, the Denver Broncos probably arguably the worst trio ever in NFL history. So these are the things that I expect. I expect Chuck Pagano to be fired. I expect a lot of the quarterbacks in the Denver Broncos to be released before the next season. And we'll see what happens going forward. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the content. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love.